nice, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
What up, though? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hood Table. Your girl done got a second win. I said I wasn't going to come back tonight, but I was like, I have to come back today. I just took a few hours rest, worked the whole shift, did a Diddy review earlier, and then I sat down. I took the chance to sit and watch Power because it was the finale, and I was like, I can't put my subscribers, my supporters, off any longer just because I'm tired. Okay, it's been a long weekend and I was too tired to come live this weekend. Had too much shit on my hand to review Power, and I absolutely have to keep up with the Diddy shit as well. So I was like, you know what, let me just chill out, unwind, relax for a little bit. And I sat down and I watched Power, and I'm glad that I did because it was off the chain. It was off the chain, y'all. So those of y'all who have not seen the finale, it's gonna be a lot of spoilers. You already know how I give my review, so be prepared. If you're sticking around for some spoilers, I ain't gonna miss shit. And of course, if anybody wants to hit the link to discuss the show with me, I'm going to drop the link as well because it's a lot to talk about and we have to prepare for the next season. We got a couple of things that's popping off. Some of the other shows that I review is, of course, the other Powers. But Force is coming back on, I think, next week or a couple of weeks? And then what other show was that? The Shy. Y'all know I've been reviewing The Shy. So The Shy just started back. It's still on episode 1, I believe. Of course, the new season, episode 1. And what else? June. BMF. We're going to be reviewing BMF again, but that don't come out till like June 6th. So it's some new shows, some new series that's coming out of the other shows that I've been reviewing for some years. So we always got something lined up. But today is the finale for Power, Raising Kanan, episode 10, y'all. And the name of the episode was Gimme the Weight. Gimme the weight. Everybody trying to get that weight, okay? And everybody is having issues with trusted people. I mean, people is turning their backs on each other. Shit is coming to the light. Oh my God. And then at the end, oh my God. Whew. Okay, so let's get it popping. Let's get it popping, y'all. But again, if y'all want to hit the link, just let me know. Just holler at me in the chat and I'll drop the link. But let me get off what I gotta get off first. So anyway, the past few episodes, just a little recap, just a tiny recap. We knew that Uncle Marvin had killed Early's cousin, Londell. You know, after the Howard Beach link to the mob. And you remember that guy, basically, that wasn't paying you. That's what Marvin had told Early. He was like, "You're gonna have to go and handle that, right?" So that was the one that ended up on Howard Beach. What had happened was Marvin told him to handle that, but Marvin didn't know exactly who that dude was or who he was linked to. And that is how this whole situation got back to Stefano, because early he had actually tried to blame Uncle Marvin, saying, well, you told us to go handle it. You know, we can't have nobody punking us and hitting us in our pockets and telling us they ain't gonna pay us, right? We gotta send a message. So early and his cousin Londell, they went out there, you know, they handled the business, and basically they did exactly what Marvin instructed them to do. And he was like, you told me to handle it, my nigga. Those were your exact words. But Marvin wasn't so concerned about the body. It was because of the consequences. It was like, okay, that wasn't some just small time winky dink corner. You know, that wasn't no small time nigga. He was connected to the big boys, to Stefano and them. So he then went back early, then went back and told Stefano. Stefano then let his big sister, his little sister Raq know. Raq went back and told Marvin, okay, early is talking. Stefano knows everything. He knows that you hit that nigga. So Marvin had to handle that. Now, it was basically, he kind of set it off himself. Marvin set this domino effect off himself. He set off the conflict. Now, remember, we had been leading up to the finale. I had said that I thought, and we all know, we had talked about when we think Uncle Lulu was going to come back into the game. I thought it was going to be because of something between Marvin and Stefano, because Marvin is always having some fuck ups here and there. He's always slipping, making bad decisions, reacting before he thinks. So I just knew that him and Stefano was going to come into some type of beef. They actually, walked away from each other, not so willingly on Marvin's side, but that wasn't it. Lulu, we see how he got back into the game because B-Rilla with his punk ass, who now want to hit the streets running with Lulu. But anyway, Marvin was concerned that if Londell, was to go out and say something, then they would be able to connect the dots, and then he wouldn't be only cleaning up Early's mess, but he may, be fighting for his own life. So basically, he had to do what he had to do. And that's when we saw him standing behind Londell with his gun aimed at his head. And the last words that Londell heard from Marvin was, loose lips sink ships. And that is why Early ran his ass to Stefano and told him everything, because he was pissed off because he killed his damn cousin. So that, just for y'all who don't, who missed that whole part, because that was important, a very important factor in this last episode. So anyway, Marvin, he was still trying to stay in good graces with Stefano. So then he met up with him. What up, happy life, boo? Hey, sugar. But so he met up with Stefano to try to convince him, I didn't do that. I didn't tell him to do that. Early acted on his own. He's trying to convince Stefano. He already know. You can sit up there and beg all day long and grovel and kiss at his feet, which it looked like Marvin was 2 seconds for doing. Did y'all see the expression on Marvin's face? He looked like he was about to break down and cry. He looked like he was about to cry. River, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Marvin like 2 or 3 times this episode. But that time, I really felt bad for him because he knew he fucked up. He knew he fucked up. And it was like, he reminded him, Stefano said, when you introduced this man to me and told me that he would be good at taking up the bookie spot, he said, I told you at that time, if Early fucks up in any type of way, that's going to fall on you. He was like, you told me he was as honest as Abe Lincoln, and now you're telling me that he's a liar and that I shouldn't trust him? Nah, you just saying that because he telling the truth. He telling the truth. So Stefano was like, fuck that shit. Now Phil Russo and his men in Jersey thinks that they can start coming at him over Marvin's fuck up. Therefore, he doesn't want to do anything with Raq anymore, Marvin, Lou, any of the Thomases, okay? It's a done data. He's wiping his hands clean for them. No more trucks, no more boats, no more nothing. And then I'm telling you that I think this is the first time. I mean, I've been following all the powers, not really Forrest. Y'all already know that. But I've been following this one from day one. And I swear, I think this is the first time I ever saw Marvin really sincerely regret something that he did. I mean, the man was begging. Like, it really looked like he was about to start crying. He knew his ass was in hot water because once Raq found out, man, Oh, and I forgot. Did I tell y'all to please like and share the video? I know I got the banner up there, but y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. But yes, please like and share the video on your way in, please, and thank you very much. But yeah, once Raq found out, oh, he know his ass was grass. Okay, Marvin was pleading for Stefano to give him another chance, and boy, again, that was the first of a few times that I felt bad for him. But then Marvin paid a visit to Early, had to pop his ass too. Excuse me. Why? Because he snitched. He snitched to Stefano and fucked their whole business relationship up. Now what they gonna do? But what I did not expect, and I know y'all didn't either, I did not expect how Stefano was gonna go out. I mean, I just knew that him and the Thomases were going to go to war over Marvin's fuck up, and then that's how Lulu was going to get back in the game. But no, Phil had other plans for his ass at the park. And it was while people was jogging around the park right in front of them, right behind them. He stabbed his ass in broad daylight. Stabbed his ass in broad daylight. Stefano just had to threaten to inform the folks up in Jersey that Phil had Sal's blood all over his hand. But the good thing was, even though Raq, even though neither one of them knew at that time that he was dead, the good thing about it was that Marvin and Raq would have lost their connect with Stefano anyway. So it don't matter if Early would have said anything to Stefano because Phil would have killed his ass anyway and they would have lost their connection anyway, right? But man, that ain't gonna make a difference to Raq because she's still pissed off at her brother. But why? Why did Raq have to go off on him like that? That's the second time when I was feeling bad for a nigga. Man, if she did not try to take his whole masculine, I mean, just grab him by the balls, like she tried to demasculate him. She was talking shit about him, calling him everything but a child of God, called him I ain't never heard nobody call somebody a confused ass, crooked ass nigga who's all twisted and turned around and shit. And then also accused him of being jealous of her because of what she has accomplished as a little sister. Like, he was jealous of her because she's doing something that he's always wanted to do. I don't think for one inkling, one bit that he has ever felt that way. I think he always looked up to his sister. And I think he even mentioned that quite a few times over these past seasons. So has Lulu. But jealous? Where, bitch? I ain't never saw that. But anyway, yeah, I was feeling bad for him, but he was like, fuck you. She was like, fuck you too. But as far as like her conversation with her niece, tell me how y'all felt about that. Because that right there didn't sit too well with me because of the fact that I think Juke always has felt some type of way with her aunt. It was like her aunt and Kanan were like two of the main people who never judged her for being gay or being a lesbian. Now her father in the beginning, now we saw him, he tried to break her damn face open. You know, back when this show first started, way early on, he wasn't cool with that. Not my daughter. You gonna be with a nigga. So yeah, he used to fight her and all kind of shit and ran her off, and she ended up staying with Raq. So she had some level of respect for Raq, but when she sat down with Raq to question her, even though she really, really did not believe what Kanan believed, which is that Raq was the one behind Famous' death and also Crystal's death. But she had to, I think she did it for the sake of Kanan. I don't think for 1 second Juke thought that Raq had anything to do with Crystal, but she had to ask her. She just had to sit down and look at her and read her face and read her reaction. And Raq just sat there as stoic. You know how Raq is. Raq ain't gonna flinch if you put a gun upside her head. And we saw that later in the show. We gonna get to that though. But I was like, damn. when Juice, man, she tried to put her niece in check. What up, Dexter? How you doing? You said Rock was getting verbally abused all episode. She was talking out her she was taking out her frustrations on him. Absolutely. And she did apologize to Jukebox last season when she gave her that chain. Yep, she sure did. She sure did. But when she tried to put her in check, I was like, no, she didn't. She was like, first of all, you better watch who you talking to. You ain't no little kid no more. So basically, now that you ain't no little kid, you grown out here in these streets. So I can really talk to your ass and do your ass like the fuck I would do any nigga. That's basically what she was trying to tell her niece without telling her niece. And her niece read in between the fucking lines. And she was like, I see you. You don't see me. You ain't never saw me. Besides when I'm with your son. But I always seen you, and I know you. I know you. But still, when Juke stood up for herself right that time, she was like, I ain't no little kid no more. And when she talked back to her auntie that time, she still, even though they had that little, tension right there, she still know that Rock didn't kill that girl. You still know that. Mm-hmm. You said they been having the same conversation at the same damn diner, huh? For like the last 3 episodes. But yeah, she still know, even though her auntie got into a little, little tit. She still knew that she wasn't responsible for that. Kanan, on the other hand, snaps and pops. Okay, so we had learned that Snaps and Pops, they were responsible for the killing of Fame and Crystal. And oh God, Crystal, they didn't have to do her like that. They did not have to do her like that. But anyway, Snaps popped her, Pop snapped her in the back of her head. I be wanting to call Pops because he's a man. But Snap is the man, Pops is the wife. Anyway, so knowing that and the fact that Kanan just recently found out about his BFF, being murdered, had him a little amped up. He was really breaking down. Thank God his cousin Juke was there to console him, but he couldn't see through he still can't see through the blinders. He still won't take the shades off. Still listening to Snaps and Pops, and still believing that not only did his mother take out Fame, D, and his father, and Crystal. Why would he not believe that she did take out OC and Crystal if he already believes that she done all the rest of the bullshit, right? Juke, on the other hand, still knew Snaps and Pops, was playing in Kanan's face, playing on his top. But because he had so much animosity against his mother, he couldn't see through the pain. He was like so hurt, he even had to go to his grandmama's grave. Now, you ready to fuck your mama up when you go to your grandmother's grave site to ask her for forgiveness for what you about to do, what you gonna do. What up, 400? What up? You said Snaps and Pops give Kanan little clues. He's too stupid. Oh, God. Dexter. I just want to walk up to my computer screen and or my TV, whichever one I'm watching at the time, just smack the shit out of Kanan. Because I'm like, you are so fucking blind. These two is playing on your face, playing on your top. And now they want Kanan to hook up with Neek and their nephew. And they want to, basically corner all the streets. They want to tap in. South Jamaica, they want to tap in, talking about they hungry. And y'all, you need to walk in your father's steps. Your father, Decon. What is that what his name was? Decon? Who ain't even really his father. They talking about your father used to make all that money for us and you can't let your legacy down. You need to walk in his same footsteps and respect your forefathers and all this kind of shit and basically make money for them like his daddy used to. And if they couldn't get any lower, I was like, wow. Y'all gonna bring his daddy up in this shit who really ain't his daddy? His daddy got killed, but he just sat there like, what y'all think? Y'all think I'm just some little young nigga? Y'all can just, boss around and just force me to do what y'all want to do? Why is his accent so much stronger than everybody else on the show? Can somebody tell me that? He talked like he got a bag of nuts on one side of his fucking jaw. I be listening. I be like, today it was just really, really strong. I was like, his mother's accent isn't that strong. I mean, nobody else around. He just his accent. I'm like, is he really? He must be really from there. I don't know where he's from. I ain't looked into his background. Maybe he's from there and that nobody else is. Nobody else. He got that accent down pat. You say even Jukebox told him that's yes, Jukebox and told him that they have an angle. He said, you know, they always up to something. And that's why, and I think that's why she wanted to, just for the sake of him, sit down with her auntie and just ask her one time. I'm gonna sit here and ask her, and I'm gonna go back to Kanan and tell him one more again that it ain't his mama. But finally, he finally took his shades off but it was at the wrong time. It's like he takes them on and off. He takes them on and off. But when he sat down with Lou to discuss their plans, Lou was like, "How you fucking with Neek? And Neek is after us." Like, did y'all hear Kanan? This motherfucker talking about Neek ain't after me. He said he after y'all motherfuckers. Y'all the ones that he ain't cool with. I ain't got nothing to do with my mama no more. So I'm safe. Like, nigga, you know they come for the family. Like, oh God. Child. I swear. I'm like, I don't know why they got him playing so fucking stuck. I don't understand that part. Like, okay, but anyway, Lou finally revealed to excuse me. Lou finally revealed to him that Raq didn't kill D, that he was the one who killed D. He also revealed to him who killed, well, not who killed, but she did kill. But Kanan and Juke didn't have any idea that their grandmother was killed. Even though it was a mercy killing. They thought she just went in her sleep. It was from her sickness, old age, her ailments. She stopped taking her medicine. We already knew that. But now he knows that his mother did a mercy kill on her. And I was like, oh, shit. That's it. That's the straw that broke the camel's back, y'all. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I guess Neek decided to take them up on their offer because the next thing you know, they didn't introduce him to their nephew. Ooh, I was hoping 400 was in the chat tonight and Noble because we know who Breeze is now. We know who Breeze is now. Let me tell y'all something. I was watching this shit, right? And I'm just sitting here watching, taking notes. And when they introduced the nephew to Kanan, I wasn't thinking about no damn Breeze. Because we had all talked the last few episodes about who we think Breeze might be, the younger Breeze. And we was like, it gotta be somebody who ain't from the streets, because the older Breeze was, the way he was, always trying to get people right on the right track and excuse me. And he wasn't all into that shit and trying to mentor people and all that. You know what I'm saying? But this motherfucker, child. But when they said Breeze, well, see, first they called him Branford. This is my nephew Branford, and I just want you two to set eyes on each other. This is kind of like an introduction, a little meet and greet. And then Kanan was like, "What's up, man? What's up, Branford?" And that's what he was like, "Nah, only my old heads call me that. On the block, they call me Breeze." I was like, "No shit, Breeze." Y'all should have seen me jump off the couch. Y'all should have seen me jump off the couch when I said Breeze. Oh my God, that's Breeze. Oh my God. It was like a little play date. Oh, that you is too funny. You said Lou put gasoline on the fire when yes, he put gasoline on the fire. Did you hear him, Dexter? He tried to turn around and say, but your mother, she's so great. She just done this for all the family. She done took all the burdens and she took the burden of putting our mother out of her pain and just making her seem like this best woman in the world, the mother of the year. Kanan was looking at him like, nigga, please. But you said Lou was like, Lou put some respect because Lou is right though. We family. We might have feuds, we might bump heads every now and then. He said, you my family, she my family, Marvin, Jew. They got a small little family. And he was like, just like the grandma said, Mama Joyce. That's your mama, and you need to respect her. And if you if you don't want to be around her, that's one thing. Love her from a distance. Not everybody got a parent, but everybody got somebody in their family that they love from a distance. And we ain't even gonna go into all the different reasons why that could possibly be. Okay, it might be a uncle who's a crackhead, somebody alcoholic, somebody who's a thief, somebody who's alive, somebody who you just got into it with, y'all had a fight and y'all just don't see it for each other anymore. Somebody who disrespected you, slept with your baby daddy. Everybody got that one person in their family that they be like, don't invite that bitch to the barbecue. If she coming to the birthday party, I ain't coming. Fuck that shit. I'll send my gift. Everybody got that one. Yep, it's too late now, Dexter. It is too late. It's what she called, matter of fact, what she called Marvin? $1 late. You always $1 late and the nickel short, nigga. Oh, when she was talking down to Marvin, she was like, you dollar late show, nigga, fuck you confused, crooked that motherfucker. Boy, she was going in on old Marvin. While he up there, Marvin, did he have something? Oh, hold on. Did he have something in his hand? Was he eating, y'all? Because that nigga always eating or chewing on something. I don't think he had nothing to eat at that time. I'm going to have to go back and look. Because I kind of think he did have something to eat and then threw it away or put it in his pocket. I don't know, but he always eating or snacking on something. That's one of the things that I like about him. That's so funny. That's like part of his character, though. Part of his character. But yeah, so now we know who Breeze is. Kanan and him met. And now, Neat, having the Italian connects, they just need to bring him on board as well. Now, at the end of last episode, we saw Raq and Marvin paying a visit to Neat. Neat was like, the fuck y'all doing here? How he is, just whatever. Neat is like, fuck y'all. It's to the dirt. It's to the dirt. You go low, I go to motherfucking hell. Okay? Neat, who basically wondering why the fuck they there, he promised them that once he's done fucking up everything around Raq, there won't be nothing left. And Raq, when she approached him, I think she was on some type of treaty shit. You know what I'm saying? You say you see he took old boy food after he murked him. Yes! You said Marvin and Tommy were good, right? He always eating. What up, Lonely B? How you doing? You said his family got problems. Yes. Like all families, and for the most part, they stick together, except for Kanan's spoiled ass. That's it right there. That part. You said you watched the panel interview of a few characters from the show. They said the guy playing Matt in character actually eats all the time on set. For real? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why my sound tripping. Maybe it's because of the storm here. But yes, sis, you is always on time for me. Thank you for joining us tonight and jumping in the chat. One of my favorite moderators, my sister from another Miss and I think she's in the background. Hey sis,
Well, dog.
what's going on? What up though?
Girl, your sound went out for a minute.
I know, and my sound had went out, and I didn't even know it went out.
Mhm.
I said maybe it's the storm up here because it's been storming the last few days.
Really?
hmm Today they said we might get some
God,
really,
what
but that's why I was like, let me get this live in before the storm gets a little closer to us because they talking about tornadoes a little outside of our city and the storm coming this way. So I already got my basement bag ready. You know, whenever they say tornadoes, you know how it
yeah,
is.
when I hit
When in the
not too
Midwest,
far from here.
we don't play with that shit. I have a
Mhm.
tornado bag, okay? Like girls who
Girl,
get pregnant, like a pregnant bag. I got a tornado bag, and I make sure water in there, snacks,
mm-hmm.
all that shit, flashlight, lighter. Yep. So I got
And
my bag.
you always gotta have you always need a go bag too
Yes.
with a copy of all your vital records,
Yes.
just in
Yes.
case you have to, evacuate. You know,
Yep.
I
Yep.
started doing
Yep.
that ever since that fire.
Absolutely. And thank you, Loading. You said stay safe hood table. Yes, you thought it was just me. No, the connection, the sound had went out. That was my fault. But Senslow, let me ask you about the show. What do you think about the Permissa girl and Neek's baby? Do you think harm is really gonna come to them?
If necessary, I think. I'm sorry. As soon as you ask me, I put a chip in my mouth.
All right, Marvin.
At least I ain't crying. But anyway,
Did you hear what Lodi said though? Lodi said she watched the panel interview of some of the characters, and they said Marvin's character really eats all through the day on set. I said I
probably
can
do.
imagine. I can see him doing that. He seems so
When
cool though.
you
Marvin
know
seems
what?
like
It's
the
funny.
coolest one.
When he be on Instagram live, he be eating too. Like he be on live talking to people, and
I'm
he
gonna
be
have to
stopping
follow him.
and eating in the restaurant, tipping people and everything.
hmm I'm gonna have to follow him because he seemed like
Yeah,
the
London.
coolest one. He seemed like if you were to meet him in real life, he would be so cool,
Yeah,
so
he
down to
is.
earth.
He is. Like he was on this live, and people was stopping asking for um pictures while he was sitting down. He's like, sure. And he leaned over and take a picture. Have a good day.
hmm
Thanks for watching and all that.
I
He
would
real
love to
down
have a
there.
picture with
He's a
him.
comedian too.
He's so cute. I
He's a
think he is
stand-up
really handsome.
comedian.
Yeah. He can get it. I'm just playing. Okay. Anyway, back to Permissa.
What kind of name though?
Girl, you know how people say when they hear certain names, that must be an old lady's name, a old, Permissa.
Sound like somebody praying, God, let me be in your permissive will. I want to be in your permissive will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Lord. But girl, listen. When they introduced him to Breeze, I could hear you scream all the way from Detroit to Omaha.
I promise you, I jumped off this couch. Y'all think I'm playing?
Girl, I was like, you was like, I'm down. I can hear you. I can just hear you.
I was like, oh my God, girl, I was doing this. I was punching my hand in my other hand. I was like, oh my God, that's Breeze. Oh my God, I'm jumping up down. I said, finally, we've meet Breeze.
But I can't wait till they snap, crackle, and pop, and snap.
I can't stand them. I can't stand that damn
I
pops. That
can't.
bitch. Oh, I can't stand that bitch.
Every time well, the guys snap. The lady is Pop. Ain't they
Yeah, that's what I
twins?
said. Yeah, Pops is the lady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You
I
feel
can't
that
stand either
girl
one of them, but I really can't stand
cold
her.
blooded like well,
Yeah, the way she did Crystal and just
mm-hmm.
threw her ass out there, I'm like, damn, bitch. And then Famous too. And then the way they playing in Kanan's face, I'm like, oh, they got to go. Like,
Oh, they doing it because they tore the family up. They had to try to do
yep,
it.
yep, that's exactly what
Yep.
they were trying to do. And but Rock kept telling Kanan that's what they was trying to do. And even Juke kept giving him hints. Don't listen to them. They got an agenda.
Mm-hmm. But
But as
he
far as
said,
that Permissa girl, the lady with the old name, I really hope they don't do nothing to the baby. I really hope they don't. I think they just gonna try to hold them to scare Neek into submission, or try to, or I don't know. But I was like, damn. See, I thought they was gonna get the mama. That's what I thought they was gonna do. I thought they was gonna get Permissa's mama, the mom. But then I was like, nah, because she ain't all that fond of Neek, besides like monetarily wise, because he put
mm-hmm.
money in her pocket. But other than that, what up, Shakamal? Hey, Big Riz, what up, hon? Man, we had it lit over on his panel last night. Ooh, we had a good time.
Big Rig.
Yep. It was his turn on his channel for us to do our from the block to the hood table segment. Yeah, it was fun.
I follow him, but I've got to update my notifications because I didn't get
Yes,
one.
you gotta up. Sometimes when you don't get notifications, you gotta unsubscribe. Then you gotta subscribe right after that, and then you hit the notification bell. And I promise
Mm-hmm.
you get like all the notifications. It works all the time. Yes. You said you can't wait till Kanan, girl. Oh, we. Okay. So, to say the least, I am very concerned about not more Permissa, but Little Neek, right? But what about at the end? At the end, y'all, we didn't get to see. We heard a pop, but do you think that Juke
No,
Juke was able to get there in time? Because you saw
I
after
think he's gonna shoot. I don't think he's gonna have the guts to kill his mom. I think he's gonna shoot past her. I don't think he's
okay,
gonna
because
shoot.
you think somebody came after them. That's what I was
No,
thinking too.
I think he's gonna shoot past her. He gonna shoot the gun. And she looked at him like, because it was something in her eyes was like, you can knew. He knew she was telling the truth.
But not only that, Sislo, my sister from another mister, but I think there was somebody outside the window.
Oh, well,
Because the way it seemed like he was looking past her too.
yeah, but I think it was because he was looking at her. He was reading her eye. He didn't want to do it. He did not want to do it. And you got to think about it that
Mm-hmm.
at some point they made some reconciliation because of how when she passed, how he acted.
Yeah.
About later on when he talked about her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you think about how there's no loyalty in him, you can think about he ended up killing you.
That's true.
You know what I'm
And now
saying?
that I'm watching the prequel to the original Power, now that this is one of the prequels, but of course, Origin is going to be the real prequel. But now that I see the relationship they have after we already seen the original Power, everything just makes sense. Everything is just it's like falling in line.
Yeah.
But I really think because I was watching his eyes, I'm really good at watching people, and I was watching his eyes, and I promise you, not only did it look like he saw something in her eye that was honest and true, but I swear it looks like he was looking past her, like he saw something in the window. And I think when we heard that pow, I think he shot past her head because I think Neek knows that his kid and his girl is missing, and maybe he sent somebody to come after Rock. Or you could, because you saw they were setting the shops on fire right before that. They set a
Mhm.
stop on a couple of shops on fire.
So
They came
he
after
shot.
Marvin. Yep, they tried to shoot up Marvin, and I really think that somebody was outside that house. But hold on, let me add Noble on here. What up, brother?
What up,
Hey,
though?
hey,
What
Homeboy.
up,
hey,
though?
hey, you so on point with what you saying about Rock and Kanan.
All right.
Mhm.
Talk to me. And it's gonna be one more season, Lodi, that we know of. It's greenlit for one more season.
I don't think that
Okay.
Kanan killed his mother.
Mm,
I think we gotta go past the parental side. You know what I'm saying? That was something that happened between Ghost and Tariq. I didn't think it got that deep until it got to that point. But I don't think that Kanan took his mama out. I think he thought about it. I think he, just like he was saying, it was something that happened that stopped him from taking out his mama. Either it was Lulu, maybe it was Jukebox, maybe just like you said, it was a rival crew trying to come and take down Rock. But no, Kanan didn't take his mama down.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I was just like when I heard that pop and the lights went off, and you know how he talks, he narrates, and he said, "What the fuck you think?" or "What the fuck you thought?" or
Yeah,
something, and the lights just went black. I'm like, no, I hate when they do
because
that.
just think about it. He said, "What the fuck you thought? What you think I won't kill my mama?"
Right. I'm
Right. You think I'm gonna
surprised.
kill my mama? I've been through all type of stuff with this woman. But every time she done proved herself right. Just like with her his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the unique. Everything that Rock said or did been 100% correct. Kanan fucked it up. So now Kanan Kanan got to like put all this stuff together like with Crystal and Famous and Pops and Snaps and everything, and then Breeze just came in. He gonna have to actually put all this stuff together in season 5 to figure out what's going on with him. And
Absolutely.
like everybody thought Unique was gonna be Breeze. I told y'all, I really actually thought that Symphony was gonna be Breeze.
Yeah, we talked about that. Hmm.
Yeah, but when it makes sense, it makes sense that this person will be Breeze because we really about to see something really happen. Because if you look at the Power universe, the real like power players, like the people that really in the power, they really is about that life. So when we bring Breeze in, Breeze gonna change the whole dynamic of the raising Canaan going into Origins because he actually made who Ghost and Tommy is, who Kanan is, and who Jukebox is. We have
Hmm.
to really look at it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look at this mysterious character that seemed like a nerd. You know, he just came out there with a Bob Kango on the side of his head. He looked like a goofy. Everybody think he a goofy, but wait until episode 1, season 5. And then you're gonna see who Breeze is, how he really worked. Because Pop and Snap is his is their nephew.
Hmm.
So understand he came up in a Porsche. He ain't come up in no Bentley. I mean, he ain't come up in no Benz. He ain't come up in no BMW. He ain't come in no lowrider. He came up in a Porsche.
Hmm. 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 Yep. When I was, you weren't here yet, Noble, but I said, when I started, when I got to that point and I was talking about, realizing who he was, I said, dang, where is 400 and where is Noble? I said, y'all don't know how high I jumped off the couch and was screaming. I was like, that's Breeze. That's Breeze. Oh my God, that's Breeze. I was like, I hope they joined the chat.
Yeah, I really thought that it would have been somebody else that had already been introduced. But when they brought him in, the way they brought him in, I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yep,
It
yep.
makes sense because it give him a chance. It gives that character a chance to develop inside of not only raising Kanan but going into Origins.
Yep, yep, that's true. And what's up? Hey King Bone. How you doing? You said you're new here. Well, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you sliding through on us. I don't know if you a fan of Power or any other spinoffs, but yeah, we just reviewing the finale of Power Raising Canaan. And
Yeah, I just really think that the way they did it, it was kind of lackluster. It left us on a cliffhanger,
yeah, they
and
always gotta have a cliffhanger.
they had to do that for a reason. You know, if they had Kanan and his mother in a situation where they was gonna kill him, he met Breeze, Jukebox going through her thing. So going into season 5, the way that they left us hanging was like, huh? So we gotta go into season 5. We gotta watch it because y'all left us hanging.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going on. Now we know who Breeze is, yeah, but we don't know if Kanan shot his mama or what. We don't know if Jukebox, because you remember when Jukebox made the phone call?
Yeah, that's what I was asking Sislo earlier. I said, "Do you think she got there in time or made the call in time?" Because she knew that Kanan was going for his mother, and she turned around and
Right,
picked.
right.
Yeah.
Now, when it went to the rock scene, Rock was on the phone.
Oh, so she called Rock. I didn't even put that together. That makes sense because Marvin was getting shot up and Lulu was kidnapping Parissa and the boy.
There we go.
All right.
So Jukebox called Rock. So Rock knew Kanan was coming before he got there. So she already knew Kanan was coming.
And she sat there and waited.
She
Just like
waited for him.
she ain't gonna, like I said, Rock ain't gonna flinch. She ain't gonna blink. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But
You
I
said they have
don't
a
think,
balancing act next season. They have to wrap up this story to introduce Breeze. And before we get to Origins, I think it's a lot that we still got to learn and see before we
yeah,
get to the Origin.
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah,
damn, I can't wait to Origin, but I'm gonna patiently wait because I am so looking forward to season 5. I think it's gonna be they have to top this season. This season was slow for like maybe the first 3 before besides Neek moving in the dark like a ghost. It
yeah,
was kind of slow for a lot of people, but I think
They're
they
like
really
the
gotta
third.
top that. They
Yeah,
got
they
to.
didn't pick up to the third episode
Yes.
because remember we
Hmm.
were talking about it.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that the whole situation with Rock and Kanan again, like I said, I think he shot past her because either one he couldn't do it, or two he saw somebody like you guys said.
yeah,
So my thing is that I don't believe Marvin got hurt really bad, or um even if Rock does get hurt, then it might make Kanan to realize that dang, you need really don't care nothing about me, because
Hmm.
now with homie Stefano down bad, or it might be dying, or whatever the case may be, they feel like homeboy need him need on his side to move away and to kind of watch his back, because if Stefano doesn't die, it's gonna really make it bad because he knows who stabbed him.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, it's in broad daylight. So I think it's either gonna open Kanan's eyes, or the impact of almost losing his mom, or the possibility of losing his mom in front of his face, is going to switch something. or whatever.
Yep.
But he's, you gotta figure this is a 16, 17-year-old kid feeling like he grown, but still making kid decisions or moving like a kid. So he's
Hmm.
gonna, he gonna grow up. This next season is gonna have to mature him in order for them to end it because this the final season next season.
Well, I'm glad
So
you mentioned that about his age, sis, because when we talk about how he keep making all these wrong moves and wrong judgment, I keep forgetting how he's
he's a
still
kid.
a teenager. He's still a kid,
He's a
technically
kid.
speaking, who grew up in a real adult, fast paced
Mhm.
lifestyle. And
Yeah.
they said
Remember, because
Dexter said
remember when he first cooked that stuff up for the first time on his own, trying to
yeah,
be grown, he messed it up, was killing people,
all the time, all the
and
time.
they had to cover it up. Him
Yep.
and who helped him? Marvin, Miss Daylight Dollar Short. Like
Marvin
even
always
though
covering it up, even though he always fucking up too.
that's why I said Miss Daylight Dollar Short, but
Hmm.
he's
But to
still
Dexter's comment in the chat,
picking up,
they
and
said
it's
I
like
think Rock. One second, let me read this comment. 1 second. They said they think Rock may have been talking to Stefano. I don't know. Was Stefano already dead at that time? He had already been stabbed, right? Or was that?
um
Yeah, he was already stabbed, right?
she was heading to talk to him because she and
Okay.
Marvin, neither one of them
They
knew.
didn't know if Stefano
They
was
didn't know.
dead or not after the
They never
stabbing.
know. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So they
okay.
don't
and I
so it's pretty much in the air where Stefano is because they heard about okay, well Stefano got this and that, but they
Okay,
don't know if he
right,
lived or died.
okay,
and
okay,
neither
okay.
does the old dude
Phil,
that's
Phil
supplying meat
Russo.
now
Yeah,
because
Phil
that's why he
Russo.
told
Hmm.
yeah, that's
Right,
why he said do what you gotta do now because at this point, he ain't all the way there. I messed up in daylight kind of thing.
right, right, right,
So
right.
yeah,
And this is the main caveat that I really want people to understand. Yeah, we could be wrong about Breeze, we could be wrong about a whole bunch of things, but when it comes to origins, this is when we're going to find out who Breeze is. Because I really think that everybody thought that Unique was Breeze, and a whole bunch of people thought who Breeze was. But in season 5, we're going to figure out who Breeze is, and then in season 6, when they go into Origins, we're gonna see how everything actually
the
folds and happens.
transformation, the
Yeah,
transformation from
yeah, the transformation from Kanan being who Kanan is, the stupid nigga that we seeing right now, to
the
being
master.
the menace motherfucker right now. I'm gonna tell y'all a person that we really need to watch. Please pay attention to Jukebox.
Yeah, but it's like jukebox is gonna, eventually become a cop, and she gonna be on both sides of the street though, and that's what I
Jukebox
was
is gonna
saying.
become a demon,
Right, but she gonna be a cop.
but she gonna have to become a cop to mask her shit. She gonna
Right.
have to go to that life.
She gonna be into all of it,
Did y'all hear when she was talking
Kanan
to that
killed
lady?
her. Kanan killed her.
Yeah, did y'all hear when she was talking to that lady with the girl that she's messing around with again? What's the girl name? Aisha. And the
Aisha,
lady said, "What happened to you? Something happened to you. You ain't the same no more." She said, "Oh yeah, I was different before. Now I'm the same again."
I am
Right,
who I am.
Exactly.
right. Because remember when she
And
was ripping off the trucks and she was dirty, dirty. And she started trying to get a little straight when she fell in love with the little chick.
with the white girl.
Right.
But
When
but
she
but the thing
That's
is,
what set it off, y'all.
Jukebox is
that's what
becoming the
got her
jukebox that Kanan feared, Ghost feared, Tommy feared. This had to be I mean, she had to take that switch to niggas feared her in the streets. Now, remember when she went to the basketball court and she like, what happened to Fame? And she was like, nigga,
She
Kanan
went
was looking like,
loco. She went
yeah,
loco.
yeah. Kanan was like, who the fuck is this? That's gonna be the
Yeah,
jukebox going forward. That's gonna be the juke
Yep.
because especially
exactly. That's what I'm saying,
because
and that's
she's
what.
gonna take a major loss. And I hate to say it, I think it's gonna be Marvin. I think
It is.
Or
If
Marvin or
it's Marvin,
Aisha, either Marvin or Aisha gonna die, and that's gonna take her like through it, and she's gonna
I
just go,
would say her
yeah,
and Aisha don't even make it
yeah,
past where they at. But
yeah,
because I don't really think Aisha really ready to come out like that. But
Yeah, she
as
finally
far as
felt like
Marvin, we know,
comfortable being herself this last go around in the bed. She was like, "Oh, you finally stopped thinking about
yeah,
it." Yeah.
right.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, what if something happened to Aisha? You know, and then you have to think about the conversation that her and Aisha had when she was really like really willing to go to Spelman, and she was like, "No, I can't stay here because my dad need me. I gotta stay in New York. If I
and
didn't have to go to New York, if I didn't have to have this on me, I would go with you. But my dad need me. He was here with me when I needed him.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's either gonna be something tragic with Marvin that's gonna shift jukebox or somewhere Aisha. I think it's gonna be Aisha. I
well,
think Aisha gonna get caught up in something that jukebox and the family is doing, and Aisha gonna get caught up in it, and that's gonna make Aisha. That's gonna make jukebox be like, you know what? Fuck all
Aisha's
this
trying to
shit.
become
I'm
a
gonna become a cop.
she's trying to become a doctor though. So I don't think she gonna be. It's gonna be one of them situations like where she be like, listen, I'm not like kind of like what Angela did with Ghost. Like I can't, I gotta get
Ooh,
away.
okay. All right,
What's her name gonna be? Doctor Alicia, you said?
Yeah,
okay.
she's trying to become a doctor. Yeah, and I think she's gonna break away. And then all these traumatic loss is when Jukebox gonna turn cold and be like, just F it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go for what I know. And then she gonna just be raw. But there's no point where Kanan and
Right.
her are and Kanan's afraid of her. They just gonna be like
Yeah, Canyon
partners
is
in crime
afraid of
because
jukebox.
her and the police doing dirty robberies and if you remember they
You
was
see what they
killing
said in
folks,
the chat? They said it's easy to where they coming at. Dexter
robbing,
got it.
steal,
Said it's easier
yeah.
to rob and steal wearing a police, and that's
But
true.
like in Power, in the original Power, that's what she was doing. She was robbing her. It was her and a crew of her police people,
Yep.
and they was going in acting like they were stopping the robbery when they was really actually doing it and all that other kind of stuff. And
Yep.
then that's how that dirty cop end up killing uh Tariq's twin and all this, that, and the other. It was all that was mixed up with Jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
Kanan ended up killing Jukebox.
Yep.
So
And I'm gonna tell y'all, when Raina died, I was just talking to one of my homeboys at work about Raina. That was one of the most heartbreaking moments
yeah,
in
It
Power
was.
when
It,
Raina got killed.
it was. I
I
couldn't believe
actually
it.
fucking cried. I actually cried when she got killed.
I know I did
yeah.
because
That
I always cry when people die. So
yeah,
I know I did too.
I was like, not Raina. I thought anybody but Raina. Cause she was so sweet, and she was trying to keep the family together, and she was. And then when she got killed, I'm like, no, not Raina. I wanted Tariq to die at that point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably wanted them to die. Let me read some of these comments, y'all. Hey,
All
Miss
right,
Naturally Lawrence, I haven't seen you around in a minute, Miss Naturally Lawrence. That's our Nolan sister, okay? And what up? I think I said hello to Shock Mall, Dexter, King Bone. Welcome again, first time in the chat, King Bone. Um, Thank you guys for participating in the chat. And Dexter had to remind me that she did mention Rock did mention the fish shop burning down in that conversation. So she was aware of what was going down. So yep, that thank you. And that's
yeah,
one reason why I do like giving live reviews. I
yeah,
upload sometime, but I like doing the live reviews because sometimes I forget shit. or you
Yeah.
guys can bring me up to speed on certain things that I missed. So I appreciate y'all for that.
See what a lot of people gotta understand with Power. Just look how they did the ghost. I mean, not the ghost, but the Breeze shit. They had everybody think. I even thought that Famous was gonna be Breeze at
Mm-mm.
one
I
point.
never
You
thought
know,
that.
I mean, because the way that the story was going. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying?
I never think that. I always thought that Breeze would be a mentor type. Never thought that he would be like Famous. Famous was too goofy. Like he really
Yeah,
wasn't.
goofy. But
Yeah, he
but
wasn't
but
really
but
good.
what street nigga watched Jeopardy? What street nigga like, you know? And so I had to look at like, okay, who is the nerd? Who is the like the nigga, the intellectual motherfucker on this motherfucker that will really be like watching Jeopardy? It wouldn't be Unique. It wouldn't be Howard. It might be Symphony. It might be a whole bunch of people. But then when they brought Shamik Moore in that motherfucker, and he was like, "Yeah, you can call on the street. They call me Breeze." I'm like, "All right, hold up, wait a minute."
Don't be call me Branford, nigga. Only my old folks call me
He was
Branford.
like, "On the street, they call me Breeze." When he said that, I'm like, and then Kanan was like, "All right,
Yeah, he was
Breeze."
like,
I
all
was like,
right,
"Oh
Breeze.
shit!" I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, now let's see what led up to him getting killed by Ghost."
That all I know is for this final season, they gonna have to like go out on top, like with Power.
Yeah,
Gonna have
yeah,
something explosive because
yeah.
they can't. They don't have time to come starting slow. They gonna have to start off powerful in the first episode, action packed, bloodshed,
I think they
some
is.
kind of
I,
stuff going on the from the very first one. Because you know how it always seemed like it take 1 or 2 episodes with these writers to get stuff started. The only one that got started off with a bang was the original Power. It was like every week,
Mhm.
it was always
It was
something
every week. Every
every
week.
week. And girl, because it was like when you think that Sa- uh, um Satch checking, getting finding stuff, and her Angela's man finding stuff, linking ghost them together, or Tasha getting undressed in the back seat, or um the
Or the
Jamaicans
homegirl getting
had to
killed.
be
Remember the homegirl
Jamaicans
got killed? What was her
when the
name?
Jamaicans was getting ready to kill Ghost with his son in the car. That was like the hypest
yeah,
episode. You hear me?
Oh
And
no, when the
then
homegirl got killed, I was like, it
when
was
he
so many parts to that show where I was gagging. Like
the
Tasha's
part
best friend.
When Tommy killed his girl Holly.
Yes.
You know about that one?
Yes, the one who his ghost wife homegirl.
Keisha.
What's her name?
Keisha, you talking about
Keisha.
Keisha?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Well, no acting, so God
It was
bless her.
always
No.
something. I mean, it was always something every fucking episode.
I
That's why
said
I could
Tommy
never
can't
turn
keep a
away.
woman alive for nothing. You hear me?
I ooh. But
Every
Ghost,
woman
I'm
take
telling
it.
y'all, Ghost is not dead. I don't give a damn. I think Ghost gonna come
Nah,
back.
he did. He did it.
I
Because
still
they
think
were
he
like,
gonna come back.
even for the simple reason why he did it is because the way that things went down between 50 and Omari Hardwick. Now, if there was a way that they could iron out the
Oh,
difference
so
that
they
they
got
have
into
now,
it. Oh,
it
I
was
don't think
because of money.
I
They
don't.
got into it because of money. Because he felt like,
oh, that's
he
right.
should
He
have been
he thought
paid.
he owed too much. Yeah, he thought he deserved more
He
money.
should have
I
been
remember.
paid more than, even though that's not the reason why he left. He said he would come back if it was worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And he
maybe
was
he
like,
might make it worth it. 50 got the dollars.
yeah. And then not only that, no, they did some more stuff. Like the guy over wardrobe gave him all of the suits that he wore in the show. He sent all his clothes, the whole wardrobe to him. He never got it.
Oh
He
wow.
never got it. And when he called the guy back, I was like, yo, you said, he said he was going to gift him everything. He
Wow.
never got it. And he believed somewhere down the line, somebody was like, no, you know. So there was, and 50 is really petty. I love him to pieces. He a businessman, but he gonna get his lick back. He like that. He's just like that. So
What's
he
but 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 what's the motto of the show Power? Ghosts never die and power always live.
right. But
So
when they say
so
ghost guys,
ghosts never die. So
them
I really just like I was stand on what the hood tape was saying that I really don't think Ghost is gone because they never showed the casket. They never
I
showed a body.
Exactly.
They never showed a ghost situation where he came back and talked to
they
Tariq.
showing
They never had none of that. So it's always
they
an open
showing them
ended
like in
book.
the ambulance.
Well,
And,
they
and,
had
and,
one. They had
and,
one.
and maybe Ghost will be the one that's narrating origins instead
Maybe.
of Kanan. He would be narrating origins. And then when all this shit done and over with, here come influence. When you
Thank you,
got
Lodi.
Tariq, and Tate and Tommy and the new going into the new phase of the power universe. Because what they doing right now, they just taking us into the backstory.
Yep.
But we can't forget about Tate. We can't forget about the
We have to
mishap
go
of
back.
Ghost.
We have to eventually get
You
back there.
know, you
Yes.
gotta think about Tariq and the Tejadas, where they left off when at the end of his season, he was on the phone with somebody. Was he on the phone with Tommy? Was he on the phone with Ghost? Who was he on the phone with?
See,
So now
somebody
it's open
killed.
ended. So we have a beautiful motherfucking series going on, and we worrying about who's gonna be who. Let's just sit back and enjoy this shit.
I'm trying to enjoy the ride. I really am. And Lodi said in the chat, exactly. Nobody, no death. Hmm.
I
And
don't think
what is
Ghost dead.
what is
I think a lot of this. I think a lot of this with Ghost and the character of Ghost has been like the same shit with him doing this trolling shit. 50 Cent doing this trolling shit. Stars doing their trolling shit to keep us on edge as to what the hell is going on with Ghost. Just like everybody had us on edge on who Breeze was. Now we know who Breeze is.
yeah. Oh, Sean,
Right.
they
Guess
know what they doing.
what,
Diddy, I mean
bro?
not Diddy, but 50, they know what they doing by making us think because they know a lot of us want Ghost to come back. But go ahead, Sislo. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna tell bro that they working on that 50 Cent supposed to be working on the on one with based on YBI.
Man, he gotta have that correct because I'm from Detroit. Man,
Well, we are.
we
That's what
we're
BMF.
bring we
I'm
are
from.
not
I'm in Detroit, bro. I grew up in
right,
Detroit.
right. I'm from Van Dyke and Harper. I watched YBI come up from nothing
Okay,
to
and
who they is.
So
Yeah, from the
when I come
Jeffries
to Detroit, I
Detroit,
gotta pay. I gotta visit both of y'all when I come to Detroit.
I've been there.
from the
Mackinley,
Jeffrey projects to the Chrysler projects,
yeah,
to the Black Bottom. I know a
there
lot
you go.
about the
There you
YBI. So if 50 put YBI if 50 put YBI out, he better do a good job of it because you got a whole bunch of Detroit motherfuckers that's gonna be looking at his
YBI
ass.
supposed to be YBI Chambers and Curry Boys and whatnot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah. And then you gotta put the best friends in there too. And you
best
gotta put
friend,
Maserati Rick in there. There's a whole bunch of people you gotta put in there. So 50 gotta come correct when it comes to this shit.
strong organization.
He gonna have to come correct because hey, if you get one story wrong, you gonna have niggas like, hey, 50, what the fuck?
Just like
Because
BMF. Just like BMF.
yeah, yeah, because if you coming with YBI and the Curry Boys and the Chamber Brothers and the best friends and all that, bro, you gotta come right. Ain't no manufacturing no shit. It gotta be real shit. Just do a documentary. Don't try to do a series. Just do a documentary.
They said is
He'll
YBI
make
going to
a
be the
good
new
one. He'll make a
y'all,
good one.
y'all see this question in the chat?
What?
They said is YBI going to be the new BMF?
It's not the
But
name of YBI is not the name of it, but it's gonna be based on okay, now you know how New Jack City was based on the way that
the Chambers did it.
the Chamber Brothers did it.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be in that arena because let me tell you something. Back in that day, from
yeah.
I'm gonna say from well, I'm gonna
But they
say
were
from
called the Young Boys Incorporated, right?
yeah,
Hey, do
and
you
I'm
do you? Can I ask you a question? Do you
yeah
remember the Saint Albans Street massacre?
yeah.
All right, that's all I need to say. See, a lot of people don't know about that. People don't know
Oh yeah.
that
You
part
you
of
ever
this
heard of
shit.
the Jones organization?
Yeah, the Johnson brother.
No, Jones. Jons.
Well, the Young Boys
Yeah, know
Incorporated
about them.
they said is
Huh?
revolves around Bush
Yeah,
Jones.
Butch Jones. Yeah,
Not that
Yeah.
Jones, not that one. Bush
Oh.
Jones is a whole different person, but
Oh.
Bush Jones is what got YBI
Yeah.
off.
YBI. Yeah.
right. Oh boy, y'all about to talk some
I
real
thought
shit
I
in a
thought
minute.
you was talking about that Jones. I was like, okay, okay.
No, the Jones organization, they ran pretty much the east side. But it was
Mhm.
like everybody had their own little
Right,
portion, whatever. But it start anyway. I don't want to get into that, but anyway,
right, right,
that's
right, right,
there's
right,
a lot.
right, right,
There's a lot of fool. Yeah, because you never know who, and
right,
so
right.
Well, my girl Sislo, she be put me on to a lot of things that have went on in the past up there. When she found out BMF was coming out, I was like, "What? You knew who? I mean, sis knew all kind of
yeah,
the celebrities and all kind of people up there." I was like, "Dang,
yeah. Like Rick went to school with me, and
yeah,
when he used
white
to
boy
hang out
Rick."
in my
Hmm.
yeah, he when he didn't go to Denby, he hung out in
And
Denby
the,
with the Baker
and the
boys.
thing is, white boy Rick used to be in the hood with us.
Oh,
We didn't know who this white boy was. He just used to be
oh,
in the hood. We used to
remember he
see
had a
him,
different color vest,
and
a
and
different color.
everybody used to be like, "Yo, that's white boy Rick. Oh, that's
He's a
white boy Rick." We like white boy Rick,
right.
but we
Yeah,
didn't know who this motherfucker was. You know, look. But then, now looking back at it, years after, me being a like adolescent, 13, 14 years old, and I'm like, white boy Rick, 18, 19 years old, I'm like, damn, that's who white boy Rick was. He was in the hood.
yeah,
He
he was
was up
like
here.
16,
I'm like, whoa,
16,
you know?
17.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
We was young. We was young. We was young in the city. We was young in the city. We was 13, 14 years old with G packs, $2,000, $3,000 worth of dope. You know what I'm saying? We
you
was out
remember
there on the block.
what one thing, well, two things they left out of the wardrobe back in BMF in the early days when they was hanging out at the club and when they was hanging out at Skateland or whatever. What two things in the wardrobe did they leave out that would have really uh rep Detroit back
Paid
in
homage to
the
Detroit.
80s?
Pelly Pals, the Pelly Pal jackets, and the goddamn
No,
Gators. The
no,
Gators
no,
and the
no,
Pelly
no.
Pal
I'm
jackets.
talking about Nanny Goats and Jingle Boots. Remember that?
Yeah, name goes in Jingle Boots, but when it
Nanny
got to
Goats.
the point where they was talking about far as BMF, and that point, it
Well,
was
it was
like top
always city
tens.
slickers. It was always
I
city
know what
slickers.
you're talking about
City
far as
slickers.
nanny goats, because I had a nanny goat. And I
Yeah.
wore kangaroos with the buckles. So I
Yep.
know what you're talking about. But at that point, we had starter jackets, but they was more about gators and pelly pals when I was up in
That
there.
was
When
that
I
was
was,
that was the big ones though. That wasn't
yeah,
the
with the
street.
pelly pals It was the
That was
Pelly Pels, the YSL glasses, not the Cartiers. It's the Y. It was the YSLs, the Yves Saint Laurent glasses.
yeah,
You know what I'm
and the,
saying? Or the Gazelles. That's what
yeah,
we wore. It wasn't about the buffs. It was the Gazelles
yep,
and the
yeah,
motherfucking YSL glasses, the silk
the
shirts,
Kango,
the
the
gator
Kango,
boots, and the Pelly Pels,
yep,
and about
Kango,
$5,000 in your pocket, and that's what it was.
that's what got him in trouble at Rick's trial. They was out there. Them kids was paying for an apple with $100 bill, and they was kids.
They
Well,
gonna
I
they
put
gonna
in the
find out
chat
what Detroit about.
for the
But
people who don't know. I put in the chat the YBI. I just googled just to put a brief description of the background on that, just for the people in the chat, because I don't even know the
I don't
story.
think 50. I don't think 50 should have the right to do that shit the way he did Meech. And that's just me. You should not have a right to even come to Detroit to do anything on Detroit the way you did Meech. And the way you did his son. And the way you did the series, bro. I really don't think hey, just go ahead and do something else with Joe Pound or niggas in Cali or motherfuckers in St. Louis or whatever. Leave Detroit alone. Just get the fuck on, bro. Because we ain't showing that same respect. If you coming up here wanna do shows about YBI and the Chambers brothers and the best friends and all that, and the way you did me dirty, nigga, we ain't got no love for you like that, bro. Get the fuck on, 50. Do some other shit.
Now I
For
don't know.
real.
I don't know everything that went down on that, so I ain't even gonna chime in.
Yeah.
Sislo, I think she knows a little bit of what happened with 50 and them each and them, but I don't know, so I'm just gonna.
I tell him
Basically,
to his face. I tell 50 Cent to his face. I tell him to his face, no, bro. Find another lane. Don't no. You already disrespected one of the big homies from Detroit. You ain't about to do that to the rest of the big homies. You ain't do that shit to Prince. You ain't do that shit to Supreme. You ain't do that shit to none of them niggas in New York, but you want to do that shit to motherfuckers outside New York. Do that shit to niggas in New York, bro. Do stories of niggas in New York. That's where you from, nigga.
What had happened, Sislo?
they fell out over well, one Supreme because one of those co-stars took some clothes or something
You
that
got a little
from
feedback, Noble, so I'm gonna mute you, babe.
one of them took some clothes from Supreme's son was doing a clothing line and stuff, and he was doing his product, and one of them took some clothes from him, and the fact that they were cool with Rick Ross, and him and Rick Ross was enemies. So they fell out over all that kind of crap.
See, I
Supposedly,
remember the
I
Rick
think
Ross
it
stuff,
was,
but I didn't know
I
about the
think it
clothes.
was promotional stuff. I think it was a promo thing because
You think
everything he
so?
did.
Like they trolling us?
Yeah, I think he trolling. I think straight up because Meek still filming.
That's what I was wondering, because you
Meek
was talking
still
about the
filming.
feud with Ghost, and I was going to mention, well,
And
shit,
Big Meech
that's
ain't
not
about
with
to
me.
do nothing to go back to jail. Big
Yeah.
Meech ain't about to do nothing to go back to jail. He in the halfway house. He gonna keep the hands clean. And trust me when I tell you that he ain't stopping no dollars because Terry got a big and Rick. They got big. Both of them got big cannabis businesses. They making millions. Both
Hmm.
of them. They just doing it the legal way. They sell
Just like
weed.
just like Snoop Dogg and a lot of them out there in
Yeah,
Cali.
they sell
Shit,
they
let
selling
me let me
weed.
hit a lick. I'm gonna move out to Cali and start me a whole weed, whatever you call it, dispensaries, whatever.
Yeah, they got dispensary. They got
Sure.
farms. They got all
Legal,
that.
You can
legal.
do it in Michigan. You can do it in Michigan on Hood Table. You ain't gotta go to LA. You ain't gotta go that far. You can
Mhm.
come right to Detroit, baby, with your cakes and your cooks.
You just want me to come here with the cakes. That's all. That's all. He wants some of my frosting.
Girl, don't put my Frost didn't bring all the boys to the yard. That's right.
Damn right, it's
Look
better
at
than
yours.
yours. Damn right.
It's
Hey,
better
you know I
than
follow
yours.
Khalees on IG. Do y'all follow Khalees on? You know she lives like over in Africa or somewhere, overseas
It's,
somewhere.
her
Not
husband,
Africa, not Africa, but some island.
Khalees,
She got a whole
Khalees is
farm.
absolutely, Khalees is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I think that she's absolutely beautiful, and that just goes to show that moving forward, what you can become, whether you're a man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Just sticking to what you want to do in your life. Cause
Mm-hmm.
she got whole fucking farms, yo.
Got
yeah,
farms. Like she out there
Yeah,
selling product. Like
yeah.
the shit that she has on her
She's a
farm
chef,
is like
and
shipped over
her
here.
husband
Like
died about a year ago.
she's like
like the goat
supplying
milk,
people with she's
the goat
supplying.
milk, the
Yeah.
goat cheese, the candles, the crystals, all types of merch that she's doing on her channel comes straight from her farm. She actually got a deal where she actually used her emu eggs because she got emus, right?
Yep.
So she used her emu eggs and she sell her emu egg, and they go for like $300 to $400 for an egg.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
Yep.
an ostrich egg. So she got emus, she got llamas. You know, llama fur costs a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Llama fur. So she got a whole bunch of llamas. She got chickens. I mean, it just goes to show what you can do, with a little bit of land. And
And
she
when you think
started with a
outside
little
the
bit of land.
box sometime, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, she is very beautiful. I have always thought, even when she was not, I have always thought she was so beautiful. But to see her doing what she's doing over there, I mean, me, I'm not an outdoorsy person like that in the farming and all that shit. But I got to shout out to her. She's doing her entrepreneur shit. She's really doing her thing over there. So I'm proud of her. Yes, the music shit. It worked for a minute, but it is what it is.
Uh,
But hey, Miss Naturally Nolan, she says, see, people don't know the back end deals. They go on what? Yep, you're absolutely right. But yeah, so that's all I got on the power finale. Any last things you guys want to add, or anything that you would like to see, or that you can predict in season 5, or that you want to predict in season?
Uh, they just better bring it. Just better bring it.
Well, I'm just looking forward. You know how I am. I'm just looking forward to some good content to do some commentary on. I definitely think somebody was it behind Rock, so I'm looking forward to see if that's true. As far as Juke, I have a feeling now. Noble, I'm a mute you, babe, because you got some feedback. But as far as Juke, as far as her being like Noble says, she's gonna be real evil, and yeah, we know what's to come from Juke eventually. But as far as like what gonna take her there, she's already leading up to there. I wonder if it is her father. Like if maybe Kanan, because her and Kanan became enemies, and Kanan was scared of her. Did Kanan do something to her father? They came and do something to her girl, or did something happen to her that just made her that evil, like she got hurt or attacked or something like that. I'm looking forward to finding out what kind of broke the straw that broke the camel's back with Juke. Let me put it that way, to make her turn into a cop and
Mhm.
then do all that grimy ass shit as a cop. That's what I'm looking forward to finding out in next season. And then of course Breeze. None of us would have thought
He
Breeze
can
was
take
gonna be some street ass thug nigga that was out there slanging and all that kind of shit. He seems like he might be real like street, like what I'm saying. But none of us thought that, so I'm looking forward to finding out about him as well. And then in the chat, Lodi said, "I look forward to Rock taking Neek out next season." Wishful thinking. Shit, for all we know, her and Neek might end up back in bed together. I don't think so, but I'm just saying. that was really weird that they situation had even got to that point. I was like, Raq and Neat together smashing.
My thing is this. This is how I think going into season 5. This is my theory. Um, we gonna find out who Breeze is. Not so fast because we still got origins, so they not gonna push Breeze on us too fast. The introduction was the introduction. What we gonna find out in season 5 is whether Rock died, the unique died, what the mafia got going on, and how Kanan and Jukebox is gonna be able to get out of this shit. Because if you think about it, those are the only two people that live throughout this shit, besides Tommy and Ghost. So we're gonna actually find out what made Jukebox and what made Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we so focused on Rock and Lulu and Marvin and Pops and Snaps that we're not paying attention to the development of the Canaan and the jukebox. And now here come what the nigga name?
Breeze.
Breeze.
Yep.
Yeah, here come Breeze, and then here come Origins with Tommy and Ghost. And we need to like really like focus on like how do Tommy and Ghost play into it? Where do Angela fit in? Where do Tasha come in? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bring a whole
I
bunch of
think
different
that's
types.
all going to come. I think that's going to start coming
Yeah,
at next season, and then it's going to go into Origins.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
you gotta understand, at the end of the day, Tasha was a down ass bitch.
Yep. Absolutely.
And how did Ghost meet Tasha? And why did Tasha was a part of the plan to take Kanan down?
Exactly. See, a lot of
It's
that is
like,
going to, that's why I said I'm looking
yeah.
forward to next season because it's going to lead us into Origin.
Hood table, I am so glad you are the only one in the sector that is doing this shit. Ain't nobody else doing it. You the only one doing it, and I appreciate it because I love power. I
I do.
love it.
Thank you. I'd appreciate you guys too. I really, really do. Because I know I'm not technically in a TV review sector or nothing like that. I do it all. I mean, our motto is everything from the hood to the White House, including the B sector. That's our motto, always has been. So I do it all. So I don't have like a consistent crowd for one thing or another. So I appreciate you guys for, tuning in and
We appreciate you, baby.
thank you. Thank you so much.
With your sweet cake kid.
Ah,
Your sweet cake kid. It's like a woman. You got all this good ass sweet cakes. So I can't even get none of those sweet cakes.
but I'm getting a rest now because graduation season, unless I get like a last minute order next week, graduation season is technically over and all the parties are halfway done. So like the cake order I just posted the other day for the young guy, his parents ordered that less than a week. And I was like, okay, that's a last minute order. You know, it's an extra cost, it's an extra fee. It was like, please, we just want you to do the cake, please. I was like, all right. But pretty much everybody is done with a graduation party. So it's gonna be about a slow season, for a little bit. So I get like a little break. But yeah, I love what I do. I love what I do. If I could do that all the time, I would, but I like my main job as well too, and I like YouTube, and I like so yes.
Well,
But
thanks for having me up hood table.
anytime,
No
you already
doubt.
know. Anytime.
We gonna have a good ass season 5. We got
Okay.
Force coming up. We got BMF coming up. We
And the
got Lassie
Shy just
coming up.
started. I don't know if you watched the Shy, but the Shy just started the new season the other day. So I'm gonna watch that premiere, and then I'll probably do that either tomorrow or the next day. But I don't know if you watched the Shy, but just letting people know that the Shy has resumed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, on the table. Peace and love. I love you. You be
All right.
easy
Love you
and
too, boo.
keep making them beautiful cakes. And you stay
Yep.
beautiful as you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you and your support. And you have a wonderful night.
You too, mama.
All right. Okay, you guys, that is our Power Raising Kanan season 4, episode 10. Gimme the Weight review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm looking forward again to next season. I cannot wait till next season, y'all. But again, the Shy just started again, so I got to get it caught up on. I might do the Shy new season episode 1 and 2, because what day is it? Monday. I guess it depends on what day season 1, I mean episode 1 came out, because I can't remember what day it came out last week. But if it's almost about to be episode 2 of The Shy, then what I'll do is I'll just combine the two, and then I'll review episode 1 and 2 of The Shy either tomorrow or the next day. And then again, BMF is in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to doing reviews on that as well. Y'all know I love my hood shows. Okay. Y'all know I love doing reviews on my hood shows. But yes, good night, Lodi. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Miss Naturally Norlands, it was good seeing you. Yes, thank you. I hope you can too as well, Lodi. Now, y'all know every day around 4 o'clock, I do the Diddy reviews. I know a lot of y'all don't give a damn about Diddy, but just for the ones who do, around between like 4 and 4:30 p.m. every day, I come alive to do the Diddy reviews on the cover and the trial. But besides that, I'm gonna squeeze in my TV show reviews here and there throughout the week, so I don't get too far behind. But I am constantly on those Diddy reviews, because it's just so much shit coming out, and the transcripts are so long, everything that the people are saying on the stand. So I have to stay with them every day. I don't want to get behind. So the reviews, forgive me, I might be a few days behind on the TV show reviews, but I'm getting there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you please like and share the video on your way out. The replay gang, please make sure you like and share the video. If you want to donate to the commentary, $ the hood table 402 is the Cash App, or feel free to send a super chat. I really appreciate those who send the super chats and the Cash Apps, because we do this, us real content creators who really, really love what we do. We'll do this shit regardless if you send us anything or not. Okay, we come up here and we give our all regardless. But for the ones who do find it in their heart to feel like being a blessing, I absolutely appreciate you guys. But I appreciate everyone as well who gives us a click, a view, a like, a share, a subscription. I really, really do. You guys, before I go, as I always say every time, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.